Look, I get it. Todd Gurley is a big name player. I know a lot of people don't want to hear somebody predict his decline, and I don't want to see it either. I'm a big Todd Gurley fan. But when you aren't passing the eye test, you aren't playing well, you say you're not hurt, the team says you're not hurt, the team isn't using you, you have a history of knee issues, yes, you're far removed from, one thing by itself wouldn't mean much, but all of that together with the fact that the last thing we've seen of Todd Gurley was him not performing well, him looking like he was hurt, saying he wasn't hurt, the guy is a huge risk heading into 2019. Now, I know that's not gonna sit well with a lot of people. I'm doing a response video to my own video to explain even further why I'm doubting him in 2019. Now, is there a point where I draw a line and I don't let him slip past me in a draft? Absolutely. Right now, that value might be in the 10 to 12 overall range, which I probably wouldn't see in any draft if I did a draft today for 2019, because he's not going to fall that far. So I'm probably not going to own him in those scenarios if I was to draft right now and pick him in target to pick him in the 10 to 12 range. I'm not gonna own him. I just won't own Todd Gurley in 2019, and I'm fine with that. Could that change? Could he move up my draft board? Sure. Could he move into the second round? Absolutely. Could he move into a range even further than that? Sure. I do anticipate that his value across all fantasy circles will fall further and further and further away from the current value that is tending to fall in the 4 to 5 range right now overall. He was the number 1 overall pick in everyone's mind heading into the later part of the fantasy season. Even when he was hurt, people were like, he'll get better. Now he's falling into from the number 1, number 2 overall range into the 4, 5 range. People are kind of questioning it, but I'm seeing so much pushback from me ranking him in the 6, 7, and even 8 range. I can't even tell you how many crazy comments I get on this a day, which is why I'm doing another video on it. I have people telling me that I have no evidence whatsoever. My theory is all guesswork. Folks, half of fantasy football is gut instinct, eye test type stuff. And when he's not passing that eye test for me, there are red flags. When he has a history of knee issues, yes, again, I know he's far removed from that. But he has a history of knee issues with what looks like his knees or something bothering him. And when he is saying himself that he's not hurt, then he's not playing well. I'm even more concerned if he's not hurt. If he's hurt, I'm still concerned. I'm not even talking CJ Anderson. He's not even a part of my argument. Every team is going to have a backup, a legitimate backup that might look good when he gets carries behind a good offensive line. I'm not worried about CJ Anderson. I'm worried about Todd Gurley. I'm worried about Todd Gurley when compared to his draft value, when compared to his ADP. And that's all I'm concerned with. So do I doubt him completely? Is he my 100% he's going to bust type player heading into 2019? No. But the red flags are there. There are plenty of players that are safer around where you draft him that I can say with confidence I will not regret avoiding him in 2019. Even if he works out for a big part of the year, I'm not going to regret it. Le'Veon Bell even, I think, will rise above Todd Gurley's value, and I'm going to get a lot of comments on that. But wait till his landing spot hits. Wait till the news starts kicking into gear on Le'Veon Bell. His value is going to go from what's probably like 7 to 12 overall, and some people have him outside the top 12 overall. His value is going to climb right below the top 4 running backs in Kamara, McCaffrey, Barkley, and Zeke Elliott. He'll be right there in the mix for that 5th running back spot in everyone's mind. And everyone's going to have a short memory as to how much they doubted Le'Veon Bell, or how much the greater fantasy circle doubted Le'Veon Bell heading to this year. So I'll leave you with this. Even if Todd Gurley is able to kind of heal up and get things right and do well in the beginning of 2019, to me, the writing is on the wall that he is facing potential injury in 2019. Now, I know that if he gets hurt, I'm going to hear, "Oh, you can't predict injury," or "You got lucky." I don't agree. I think there's a high likelihood that he gets hurt in 2019, given all of these things added together. So, like some running backs in the past who tear it up during their final year where they drop off the face of the earth, they have had a very productive beginning part of that fantasy season where they tailed off. Larry Johnson, Sean Alexander, Priest Holmes. Larry Johnson played 2 elite years, then fell off the map. Now, granted, a lot of those running backs had 300-plus carry seasons back-to-back. That would lead me to even more concern if Gurley had that kind of carry usage in his history. But he has had 4 crazy years of ridiculous usage when you add together his rushing and receiving work. And I think that even if he has a very good beginning of the year in 2019, he will have a tough time staying on the field when it counts, which again will disappoint everyone if he's not in there at the end of the year. I'm staying away from Todd Gurley. There's a lot of evidence in favor of running backs going, some of them over 4 years of intense workload and usage. Sure. There's also a lot of stats that say that a running back could tail off at that 4 to 5 year range at elite usage. But he is one of my top bust candidates for 2019 given the value, given the price tag, with all of the red flags and with the writing that I believe is on the wall for Todd Gurley in 2019. You decide what's good for you. That's where I stand.